Fine, we don't need it.
3.
Hi, I'm Ben Cagey.
And I'm Jace Manning.
And this is Cold War, Episode 3, Racing to the Moon and the Gold. On this episode, we'll be talking about the fabled space race between the superpowers of the U.S. and the Soviet Union. We will also detail their Olympic battles in an effort to see which country was stronger.
3.
We've also received first-hand interviews and real footage with astronauts and athletes.
3.
The U.S. and the Soviet Union were the two countries involved in this conflict.
This happened because the competing governments of the U.S. and Soviet Union were trying to race to the moon to see who was the more technologically superior country.
3.
The sports aspect was to show which nation had the stronger athletes, while the space aspect was to show which nation was superior technologically.
The conflict took place in space as well as in the Olympics.
The space race took place from 1957 to 1969, and the Olympics conflict took place from the 1950s to the 1980s.
It is important to remember that all this happened because each superpower was trying to prove which one was better than the other.
It all ended because America wins the Olympics pretty much every year.
The space race ended when America landed on the moon. Now to our first interview with Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Armstrong.
Nice to meet you as well.
Right into this. When did you find out you really wanted to become an astronaut, and why did you do it?
Well, when I was a kid, I was always fascinated with the world and thought that there might be something out there. What made me want to go defeat those commies over in the Soviet Union, because I knew my country was the best.
How important do you think this is in the Cold War?
This was extremely important because it showed we were superior technologically, and it showed the world who was the better country.
What were you thinking about when you were walking on the moon?
I thought about my family and how patriotic I felt because I helped my country win the space race.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong.
You're welcome.
Wow, what a hero. Now we turn our eyes to sports between the Soviet Union and the U.S. basketball team.
Our first interview is with Sergei Bailov, one of the Russian basketball players who was on the 1972 team that upset the U.S.
3.
What was it like in the beginning training in the Olympics, knowing that you might go up against a team that's amazing as the U.S.?
We knew it would be difficult, considering where we started.
3.
Wow, terrible. How did your team muster up the strength?
2. 3.
Given the current state of the Cold War, I knew we had to muster up the strength to win, because we needed to prove that we were stronger as athletes. We also had to prove that the U.S. wasn't the best at everything, and I did it for the Soviet Union.
2. 3.
What did it feel like to put in that last second shot?
It felt amazing because my country loved me and they were cheering my name. It also felt great because we beat the U.S., which proved we were a stronger nation.
3.
People say that the game was rigged and the officials were paid off. What do you have to say about this?
We won and they lost. That's it. Wow. Sports was a large aspect in the Cold War because many people believe that whoever had the strongest sports team obviously had to have had the strongest nation.
Which is especially true. This is especially evident in the Miracle on Ice. The Soviets were known to have one of the best hockey teams and never lose any games.
However, on February 22nd, 1980, a bunch of rowdy U.S. college kids were able to defeat one of the greatest teams ever assembled.
We had an interview with the U.S. Olympic hockey MVP, Jack O'Callahan.
So Jack, 36 years later, are you still shocked that you won the game?
Yes, it is. I still can't believe that we beat the greatest hockey team in the world, but we came out and competed harder than them, so we were able to win.
What was the pressure like playing in such an important game?
I got the weight of the entire country on my shoulders.
Did you feel like you were playing something other than the Soviet team?
Felt like we were playing against communism and unfairness around the world.
How were you able to win? Was that
Out with an extreme desire and determination to win the gold. Nobody could stop us. We also wanted to prove that democratic countries were stronger.
How does it feel to pull off the greatest upset in history?
Sure. It feels. Wait, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still going.
Okay. It feels great. Nobody gave us a chance to win, so we showed the entire world that we could beat the mighty Soviets. 3.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you for watching
Cold War.
It was extremely important because it showed we were superior technologically.
Just keep going. I can cut it. I can cut out
don't
this
care.
part. Just keep.
No, I don't need to.
Just say.
You can't cut it out. It's already done. I thought this was extremely important because it showed we were superior technologically, and it also showed who.
Meet you, Mr. Armstrong.
Bam Kidgy. Bam Bam Kidgy.
Okay, Dad. Love you. Okay. Tell Grandma I said hi. Okay. Bye. Hi, I'm Ben Cagey.
The U.S. and Soviet Union were determined to get to space and prove who what.
3.
The sports aspect was to show which nation had the stronger athletes, while the
3.
Now we have our first interview with Neil Armstrong, the first man to set foot on the moon. We had an interview with the U.S. Olympic hockey MVP